So tomorrow's the Indiana primary.
I heard about that.
Yes. How important is it for you to win Indiana in this campaign?
Well, it's important for us to win every state. Right now, Indiana is one of the major states remaining. There are 10 more states to go. We are putting a lot of effort into it. We have 3 rallies today. It looks like we're going to have pretty good turnouts. We have a lot of volunteers out knocking on doors, making telephone calls. We hope that we will have as large a voter turnout as possible. We hope that the people of Indiana will join the other 17 states that we have won in standing up and saying there's something a little bit crazy in our country when people are working longer hours for low wages and almost all new income and wealth is going to the top 1%. Something a little bit crazy when companies like United Technologies are able to shut down in Indiana, throw American workers out on the street, move to Mexico, pay people $3 an hour. That's just not right.
Yesterday in your press conference in D.C., you had mentioned about just the way delegates are kind of put way before campaigns.
Yes, right.
Would you change the voting process?
I think the Democratic Party has to take a hard look at its entire process. As I mentioned, we have now won 45% of the earned delegates, the pledged delegates. We have won 7% of the superdelegates. That does not look like it's reflective of the Democratic base. The Democratic establishment obviously is supporting Hillary Clinton. The big money interest is supporting Hillary Clinton. The governors and the senators are supporting Hillary Clinton. We got a lot of people supporting us. So I think we have to take a hard look at the role of superdelegates and rethink that. But right now, the idea that we have 45% of the popular vote and 7% of the superdelegate vote does not register. It just doesn't make sense.
Now, coal is a big industry around this area, especially in Kentucky. A lot of jobs are being lost because coal mines are closing. What does the future of coal look like to you?
Coal has been in decline for a very long time. We know that. And we owe it to every coal miner, every person in the coal industry, every person in the fossil fuel industry to make sure that they have decent paying jobs, that we rebuild the economies in those industries that are hurting. We owe that to those workers. On the other hand, I have to be very honest with you and tell you that, in my view, climate change is one of the great planetary crises that we face. This is what the scientific community is saying almost unanimously, and we have a moral obligation to leave this planet in a way that is healthy and habitable to our children and our grandchildren. That means we need to transform our energy system, but it does not mean to say that people who have, all that they were doing is working, trying to earn a living. We're not blaming them. And they need decent paying jobs, and we have to rebuild those communities.
Now, just a few weeks ago, we have Alcoa Works smelter that had closed. They produced aluminum. A big reason is because of the importing that China is doing with that. What would you do for that?
We would make radical changes in that policy. It's not just Alcoa. It's not just the smelter. We have lost millions of decent paying jobs in the last 35 years as a result of disastrous trade policies. And one of the major differences between Secretary Clinton and myself, I have opposed all of these disastrous trade agreements. Secretary Clinton has supported virtually all of them. If elected president, we are going to transform our trade policy. We are going to negotiate with China. They're not going to be dumping steel into this country.
Now, a few years ago, when John McCain ran, a big issue was his age. He was in his 70s. Should people be concerned about your age?
Well, I'll tell you what, follow me around the campaign trail for a few days. And then after you recover and get a night's sleep with Sue, then we'll talk about my age. Look, thank God I am very healthy and I have a lot of stamina. And I think anyone who's followed us on the campaign trail or my career in the Senate knows that I have a lot of energy.
Your rally today, there's lots of young people out there, and you see at all your rallies, some people that don't even look like they could vote. What is your appeal? Why are so many young people behind you?
Well, first of all, when we talk about young people, know that it's not just very young people, 20 or 21. In almost every primary or caucus, we win a pretty good majority of the people 45 years of age or younger, which tells me, by the way, that the ideas we are bringing forth are in fact the future of this country and the future of the Democratic Party. In terms of college students, I think the answer is twofold. Number one, by definition, young people are idealistic. And they look at this world and they look at this country and they say, why do we have so much income and wealth inequality? Why are women making 79 cents on the dollar compared to men? Why do we have so much poverty? Why do we have more people in jail than any other country on earth? We can do better. We can do better. And they're not jaded. They're not cynical. They want to do better. Second issue is pretty personal to them. Many young people who go to college are leaving school $30,000, $50,000, $70,000 in debt. And they're asking, why is it that we have to be punished for doing what the country wants us to do. We need a well-educated workforce. We should not be punished. And I think they're upset at that, and I think they respond to my belief that public colleges and universities should be tuition-free.
All right, great.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.